Hello and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In today's segment, I would like to talk about women that allow men to live with them if they're not married, or even married couples at this point. And before I start, I would like to say this. I am not criticizing anyone that happens to live in a household together that is not married. I'm not criticizing you. But what I am about to talk about is the fact that some of these women, before they allow these men to move in with them, don't get the background done, get a background check, don't talk to his friends or his family, because I am so tired of seeing these stories where these men have either raped these women's children, or they have beat them nearly to death, or they have beat them to death. Right now, I was just reading an article about a little girl, looked to be about 3 or 4 years old, where her mom left her with her boyfriend and he beat her to death. She died from the injuries. She couldn't fight. Her little body was just too little to fight. And it's sad because you go to work, you leave your kid with this person, whether male or female. You're thinking, okay, this is my man, my lover, my boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband or wife. And the kids are left with them, and next thing you know, you're getting a call that they've either beat and killed your children, or they've beat them to the point where they're almost not, they're almost deceased because of how bad you've beat them. Okay, but I can say this. I'm not judging anyone. If you feel comfortable enough to allow a man to live with you, more power to you. But me personally, and this is just my opinion, okay? I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anyone else out there. I'm talking about myself. I've never had that trust level with a man to allow anyone to even be left in the room alone with my children. I don't give a damn who it is. When my kids were younger, I have big kids now, grown up, basically. And I don't have to worry about that now, but when they were younger, I was like a lioness. You weren't going to be left alone with mine. I don't give a damn what you said or how you said it. It wasn't going to happen because I was protective. You just can't trust people like that. And the more I see these stories where these people are throwing these babies out of the window. I read an article where the man threw the baby out of the window and the baby was trying to hold on to his little life. Come on, people. What kind of monster do you have to be to abuse a child like that? If you know that maybe you can't deal with the crying that the child might be doing, or either the fact that the child might be playing kind of loud, then get the fuck on. Call the parent and let them know. And if it's your child, call the child's mom and say, hey, I can't take this anymore. You got to come and get your kid. I can't take it. But if you decide to just go and beat this child and kill him and think it's okay, you were an evil son of a bitch from the start. We are living at a time in this world now where kids are being killed it just seems like it's just something that they wake up and decide they're going to do for the day, and something's wrong with this picture. And we all want to sit around and say, okay, well, maybe they suffer from mental illness. I think some of these people they're just evil. Okay, I don't care how anyone feels about what I'm saying. Anytime you put your damn hands on a child, no matter what age they are, and you beat them until you kill them, or until you have them disabled, or you have them in comas fighting for their lives, you're an evil piece of shit. I don't understand how any judge out there has granted these people bond. The guy that just killed the little girl, he's out on bond. Why? Why the hell is he out on bond? They should never see freedom. They should never see anything outside of the jail cell walls. But they do. It's like they're not being punished the right way for killing these children. And I have a problem with that. You get more time in jail, it seems like, when people kill animals, and I don't even think, when people are killing cats and dogs and so forth, that's still crazy. Why are you killing anything unnecessarily? Basically, if it's not self-defense, and this is not a life or death situation where you had to do it because it was self-defense, why the hell are you doing it? But I'm saying you get more time when you kill animals, it seems, than you do when you kill these children, when you kill people, period. And I'm just wondering, what kind of world are we living in today? Everything is just so bad right now. You have the fires, the wars, the viruses, diseases, the killings. And it's not just one particular state. It's all over the place. It's not one particular area. It's not just urban areas. It's all over the place. It's suburban areas. You name it. There is so much shit going on in the world today. It just makes you want to just stop and look and listen. Like, what's going on here? Can someone please fill me in? What am I missing? Everyone's angry. When you're driving, there's so much road rage. Where I live in the suburbs, it was two men road raging, and they got out the car and decided to, I guess, try to harm each other, and they killed a 67-year-old woman. It's like you're almost afraid to even blow your horn if someone gets in your way, because you don't know what mood the person that's driving is in these days. They could jump out the car. They could have a gun. You don't know what to do anymore. There's been people that's been killed just for looking at people. And I remember telling my family, we're going through some times right now to where there's going to be such a struggle with good versus evil. And I can say this because one thing about me, for all of you that's been listening to my podcast for the last few years, I have been able to see things, like have these visions. You can call it psychic, whatever you want to call it. But since I was the age of 13, 14 years old, and I remember telling my family and friends, be careful out there, because things are really getting ready to get bad out here in the streets, with people killing each other, all of the murders, the murder-suicides, people killing their husbands, wives, children. And they have no reason. There's absolutely no reason. When they do their press conferences, the first thing they say is, we don't know why. We will never know why they did it, because everybody is so angry and they don't know for what. And I'm going to stand by what I say when I say Satan, he's on a mission to get as many souls as possible. And right now, where people are down on their faith, they have no faith right now. They're blaming God for everything. They're disappointed in the churches that we have. The mega churches have made people walk away from church, which I'll say this also. You don't have to go inside the church to save your soul. As long as you have a relationship with God, that's all that matters. But the fact that you have mega churches where these people are flying around in private jets, and they have 4 or 5 houses and Lamborghinis and Bentleys and this and that, and some of their parishioners are broke and barely eating and can't get around, that's not right. It's not right at all. I grew up in church. I used to go to church 7 days a week, even as an adult. And I can remember sitting in church, and the minister just kept talking about money. Oh, I have this. I bought this. My wife and I bought this big house. We have houses in this place, that place, overseas, here, there. My son just bought him a convertible and some other kind of car. And the wife says, oh, when I was at my second home, which is the mall, God put it upon me to buy the cashier a $70 gift card. We don't come to church to hear that. We really don't. We want to hear a sermon that's of meaning, okay? And then they'll turn around and say, well, if you donate what you're supposed to, because we have bills at the church and this, that, and the other. This man had 2 churches. And when I say he promptly started at 9 and was finished by 9:57 so that he can fly up the highway and get to another church that he has, where he has one that is in the deep suburbs where it's a mixture of people, black, white, all races. But then he has one in a different area, like 10 minutes from here, where it's whites. Okay, so it's basically everything was separated. But he never preached anything that left you feeling full, when you left the service, because he was always talking about what he was buying, him and his family. It was always about money. And I think that's what is kind of pushing everybody away from church. Even the baptism, I can remember when I was baptized, we had to go to church, sit in the front of the church, wearing all white, our hair up in this little wrap. And we sit there, we had to go to Sunday school, and then we were baptized where your family's all there, and then people from the church could attend. When my kids were baptized, they said they wanted to do it over at this particular, it was a Christian church. They said, and I went to a Baptist church. I grew up in Baptist church. They wanted to do it over. They said it just didn't feel like a baptism. And I can remember talking to the man that performed it, and I'm like, I've never seen you here before. He said, well, I'm a minister from another church, and this, that, and other. So I want to know why the minister of this church felt the need to not do the baptism. And when I say they got probably 20 something people in that water and out, literally your feet barely touched it seems, and you're out in a matter of a few seconds. No prayer, no nothing. And my kids wanted to be rebaptized where I was baptized. It should never be a time where you don't feel like your baptism worked. Like you don't feel like it filled you with the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. And not to mention, we weren't even allowed to even be in the room with them. We literally had to go out there and watch it on the big screen televisions that he had all around the church. Truth be told, I'm going to say this much. I stopped going to that church. I pray to God every day. I thank God for waking me up in the morning. I thank God for keeping myself, my family, friends, grandchildren, children, even the world safe. But I don't go back inside of that church because I don't think that they were right. Everything started turning into financial gain for him and his family. And it's a lot of that going on out here now. And I think that's why a lot of people are just not into religion the way they should be. Okay? I think it's going to take a lot of prayer to reverse whatever evil that has been unleashed on this world with all the rapes, all the killings, all the beatings. We have to pray. Everyone that still does believe in God needs to continue to pray and pray as much as possible so that we can get some leeway with all the anger and hatred that's been released in the world today. Because it's sad. You're worrying about all kinds of stuff right now. And some of the stuff that's going on in 2022, you shouldn't even be worrying about. You have polio in the water systems. You have the COVID in the water systems. You have the monkeypox out there. You have everything floating around. And then you have the murders coming, the car thefts, the break-ins. It used to be a time when people try to rob you or break in at night. Now they're coming in on you in daylight, taking your shit from you right at the stop sign, stop light, whatever the case may be. People don't care anymore. They want what's yours because they don't want to work for what they want. So they rather just come and take yours. And then you have people out here with all the car thefts that's going around in all these different cities. I believe it's all going to end up being one person that's issuing all this shit, that's having them do all this shit. I think it's some kind of car theft ring, because these people are stealing your car right from under you when you're pumping your gas. I think that we're living in a world right now to where it's scary. I wouldn't have never thought in my 50 years that this world would be this damn crazy right now. I have to sometimes sit back and be like, am I really seeing everything that's going on? Am I really seeing that this man has killed his own child? That's like a video I watched also about a man that turned to his 5-year-old child and told him, oh, you're about to die. Your mama won't come home. You're about to die. And the little boy put his hands up to his ears and started screaming and crying. I think he was about 5 years. Yeah, he was 5 years old. The other two kids in the back, I think the youngest was 1 or 2. And then there was another one that might have been, I think, 4 or 4. Okay. He had a total of 3 kids. The mother didn't want to be a mom. She didn't want to be a wife. This couple had been together since they were in high school. And she was going out cheating on him. Apparently, she kept giving him STDs or whatever the case may be. Why he took it out on the kids, I don't know. But he kept calling her. He kept calling his friends. They wouldn't answer. He called his family. They wouldn't answer. So he felt he had no one to turn to. So what he did is went and parked in some high-end neighborhood, got on a live video on Facebook or Instagram, and he did a live about it. He said how everyone failed him when he just made all these calls to try to find someone to talk to. No one talked to him, and they should be ashamed of themselves because he was there for them. And then he turns around and he kills all 3 of them. Well, all 4 of them, the 3 kids plus himself. And someone jogging just happened to find all the dead bodies in the car that following morning. So what woman, when you know that this man is you know that you fucked him around to the point where he's at the end, and you still leave your kids there, you're worthless. I don't think that she should ever be able to ever have another child. She should be fixed. She should never be able to bring another child in this world because it's her fault that those 3 are gone. And I know some people are going to say it's not right of you to say that. He threatened to do that and she still wouldn't come home. Everything's on video. He threatened to do that and she still wouldn't come home. I don't care what she had to do to get to that home and take every bullet that man had in herself to save her babies, but she didn't. All she did was try to call the police and tell them she really didn't know where he was located. So what she got when she finally decided to bring her ass home, what she got was 3 babies that were deceased. Because it was more for her. She wanted to be in the streets with all these different men and didn't give 2 flying fucks about her. This is why I say some people do not need nor deserve kids. When you have people out there begging for babies that can't have them, and then you have these people that can, and they treat them like shit or they kill them. That's the shit I'm tired of. If you don't want to be a mommy, don't be a mother. Keep your legs closed or use protection. Stop bringing babies in the world and then hoeing out there. You're hoeing and the kids are suffering. These kids are being murdered by men that just don't want to be bothered. They're being raped by pedophiles. Come on, women. We've got to do better. We have got to do better as women. What happened to the times where you actually cared about your kids? I know I'll give my life for mine and my grandkids. There's no way I will leave my kids in harm's way for not a damn soul out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to protect what's mine. And when I read these stories, I cringe because I'm like, damn, he told her he was going to do it. He told her this. And she still wouldn't come home. So she didn't care about the kids. Because if she cared, she would have never left them there knowing he had already threatened to kill them and to kill himself. I just think that it's a lot of unfit people that just don't deserve kids. And that's why this might be something you don't agree with. I don't know, but I've told you my views on abortion. I feel that I don't believe in it for myself. I wouldn't do it for me. Okay, I don't believe in it for me, but if the next person believes in it or they need it, I will stand there with them, hold their hand, do whatever I need to do to make them comfortable. I would never tell them they're wrong for doing it. But when you have women out here like that, they shouldn't be having kids. Use condoms. Use two. Do what you have to do so that you won't bring any more kids into any kids, period, into this world, because you're very unfit. There's a lot of unfit women out there that don't need children, but yet they refuse to practice safe sex or use birth control. And then they come and they allow their kids to be molested and raped and beat, and you name it, at the hands of these men that they knew shouldn't have been around their children. And then they try to cover it up with them. That is the sickest shit in the world. And I think that women like that should be under the jail and never able to get back out. Anytime you harm a child, you don't deserve to be in this world. The death penalty should be waiting for you. These are kids that we're supposed to protect. As a mother, we are supposed to protect what we bring into this world, and a lot of women out there don't. A lot of men don't. It's just a sick world out there that we're living in, and a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, it's mental illness." People don't know that they have mental illness. No, I used to say the same thing, but I believe now that it's basically evil, pure evil. There's some evil people out here that everything about them spells evil. It's not mental illness. It's just evil. They're evil. And they're doing things that you wouldn't believe. But again, like I said, I wanted to do this segment because I read that story and oh my God, it sucks the life out of you to see such a beautiful little girl that was beat to death by this grown ass man. When he let her mother leave and go to work and didn't want to be bothered with the child, and he decided to beat her to death and kill her and have the nerve to be out on bond right now. That is sick. That's real sick. So I'm saying this to anyone out there that's in a situation where you're living with someone. Listen, and it could be your husband or your wife. Be watchful of your kids. Make sure they're not being touched. Make sure they're not being beat. Check for scars. You never really know a person, no matter how long you can know a person for 20 years and still not really know them. You know exactly what they want you to know, but you don't truly know them. So I'm saying for anyone and everyone out there that's in that situation, be watchful. Take care of your kids and protect them. If we can't protect them as parents, then who can? So protect your children out there from the world's evil, is what I call it, that's lurking right now, because it's one big cesspool of bullshit right now. So I would like to thank all of you for joining me in this segment on I basically, it's abuse at the hands of your parent. At the hands of the parent is what I've been talking about. Abuse, the parents or the boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever. I mean, because some of the stories, it's the child's father that has done it, or the child's mother, or it's been the mother dating a man, and it's not his kids, it's someone else's kids. So whatever the case may be, all of you that's listening, be careful. If you're quick to anger and you're around kids, exit. Leave the kids. Have someone pick them up. Get away from the kids. Don't take your anger and frustration and hatred that you might have for the parent and harm those children. That's not right. That's not right. And we're tired of seeing all these angels, all these babies being murdered at the hands of some psychopath. Okay? All right, people, I would like to thank you for tuning in to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. I hope you are having a happy, blessed Sunday. And until next time, take care.